We're filming from a tripod today, so I can't get all the cool angles, but today is about putting in the work. And talking about putting in the work, I want to give a quick shout out to my man Tanner. Tanner is a rider from New York. He unfortunately had a really bad crash at the BMX track. During his crash, he unfortunately suffered a broken neck. So he is actually currently in Atlanta at the best rehabilitation place you could ask for. So Tanner, that's him on the shirt. Jacked as can be. We're cheering you on, buddy. I've been keeping up with Tanner every day, and seeing the little progressions he's doing is absolutely amazing. So check out below. I'll put some links in the description so you can see a little more of what's going on with him and his family. So Tanner, I know you're watching. This video is for you, buddy. This weekend is Louisville, Kentucky, the Derby City BMX National, and technically my first race of the season. Yes, I raced one day in Rock Hill back in March, but that wasn't me. Mentally, I wasn't there. I feel like I've pretty much had about 7 months off. Wait, what is it? It's the end of August right now, so I've technically had like 9 months off, counting December. The elbow was meant to be a quick cleanup. As soon as it started to get better, it almost got worse. So I got on some pretty aggressive anti-inflammatory. So for the past, I'd say end of July, all August, I have felt like my old self, but that only gave me 4 weeks of good solid training to get ready for Louisville. Obviously, if I'm gonna get on the gate, I wanna get on the gate and perform at my best. So after a big break and coming back feeling fresh again, it's kind of relit a fire. So I'm actually excited to get out there and race this weekend. So as you guys know, this is a new first straightaway, meaning my 30-foot marks are different from my old first straightaway I used to have. So we have a full page of new times. It's Tuesday, race day is Friday. My goal for today is simply to make sure I'm actually peaking. All my training for the last month has been to make sure I'm 100% and peaked as can be this week, being race week. If all my training is going as well as it needs to be going, I should be able to potentially lay down my fastest time today, and that's the goal. Going into racing, it's all about having a clear mindset, right? I haven't competed with anyone. I haven't done a gate with anyone literally since March. So as good as I feel, I don't know where I'm gonna stand, right? But as long as I see the times that I wanna see today, I'm gonna go into the racing this weekend with confidence. So Sunday, July 20th, that was my first time doing gates again. And that was my first gate session in the backyard. We obviously want fast times, but we also want to see good averages. Just because you lay down, say your fastest gate ever, if you go and do that in a quarter or second moto and can't repeat that, it's not really going to help you main event, right? Which, yes, you could potentially lay it down again in the main event, but if you're inconsistent, what are your odds, right? So the biggest thing is looking for consistency here. As much as I do note my fastest times every single session, I do note my averages, and I actually focus on those more. So Sunday, July 20th, I did hit a 1.29. I did that once with an average time of 1.31. Next session, my fastest was a 3.0 with an average of a 3.3. Session after that, you guys saw the video of this, I hit a 2.8. Let's go. 2.8 is the fastest one I've done yet. Granted, if it was in the thousandth, maybe it was a 2.89, right? So we're still pretty far away from a 2.7. That average was a 3.1. Next session, I hit another 1.29, average of 31. Next session after that, a 1.30 with an average of 3.1. Last Thursday, the 21st, I hit 2.29s that session, and I dropped my average to a 0.30 finally. So we went consistently 3.1, 3.3, 3.1, 3.1, 3.1. Now we dropped to a 3.0. My session yesterday, Monday, August 25th, 1.29, and I hit 1.28. That was the second time in 5 sessions that I hit the 1.28, which kept me at an average of 0.30. So with all that being said, I seem to perform a little better when the camera's on. So my goal today is a 2.7. 2.7 is the goal, but realistically, if I can hit 1.28s this session, then it's a win for me. I know I'm trending in the right direction. So for the past 4 weeks, everything has kind of been going the way that I expected it to go. Getting back on my bike and slowly getting faster and quicker. As long as I've been racing BMX, I'm not gonna lose that much. It all seems to come back pretty quick. So anyways, that's the goal. 2.7. I like to give myself a limit amount of gates. I would normally say 10 to 12 gates, but we're gonna go anywhere from 10 to 15 gates, depending on how the numbers look. And I say that because come racing, you don't get unlimited amount of tries, right? You get your 2 motos, you get a quarter, semi, main event, whatever, and you don't get to redo main events. You get that one shot to get it done. So that's why I like to put a cap on my gate sessions, because simply we're going for quality, not quantity. Make sure we are just efficient and get the work in and out, right? All right, so as you can see, I have 2 bikes here. The RSP is my sprint bike. The ACT is my race bike. I don't do this every gate session. We're gonna start on the RSP. I keep a different gear ratio on my RSP. Sometimes this bike will have a drastically easier gear than my race bike, and sometimes it'll have a drastically harder gear. That simply just prevents me from having to change gears throughout like sprint sessions and stuff like that. I'm very grateful that Chase provides me with 2 bikes every single year, so I can have a training bike and a race bike. Race gear on this bike, light gear is actually on this bike today, and I'll tell you why. I like to start with the light gear because I call it activation sprints. You know, normally I would do this in a different scenario where I just go do like a rolling acceleration start down a hill, just a high, just intense sprint. You guys will see me do it in my vlogs, and what I'm doing is activating my legs, getting my legs moving like over speed, faster than they would actually move on the BMX track. So I hope to be turning over my race gear that much quicker. I did do a bit of a like full body warm up before I started this, but these first couple gates I'm not really gonna focus on getting the times because I'm still warming up. 2 gates, and then I'll actually start recording on the times on this bike as well, so you guys can actually see the difference.
Ready? Watch the game.
Oh, legs are moving quick today. Gate number 3, feeling pretty good. What we got? 1.30. 1.30 with light gears is actually pretty nice. You think of light gears get you to that point faster, right? Well, it can in theory, but this is a pretty drastic gear change. It's the equivalent of going down 3 teeth in the front. So yes, in theory, it seems like it could get you going quicker, right? But your legs have to be able to adapt to that quick movement. So it's easy to get to that 30-foot mark and actually kind of like feel like you're running out of gear. That's exactly the goal here. We want to run out of gear where our legs have to adapt to spin faster, if that makes sense. You can be the strongest guy in the world, but if you can't move those pedals quick, it's not going to do anything for you, right? Let's see if we can get another 3.0. Shoot, if I get a 2.9 right now, it's really a good start.
Watch the game.
That one felt good. That one felt real old. We are setting the bar high. That was very unexpected. Race bike, let's do it. The best tool when it comes to training is having timers. Having timers is pretty much like using weights in the gym. You have something, you have a reference point, right? If you can barely lift 100 pounds, then one day you can lift 105 or 110, we're getting stronger, right? Well, it's the same concept for timing your gate start. So I'd say the 2 best investments for BMX training is a sprint block and a timing system. That's priority. Timer's clear. I want to set it over here so we can see the first one together in case it's a banger, which I highly doubt. That's a great start. As I do gate number 2, I thought, okay, what's the difference between a 0.30 and a 0.31 or 0.32? So these next couple gates, I'm gonna set you guys up right at the timer, and then we'll see the times, and I'll put an overlay on, and we'll actually see the comparison, because I've actually been wanting to do this for a while, but I've just yet to do it, so I'm actually just as curious as you are. Now do me a favor, and just me being anal, just ignore this side of my house. We're in the middle of putting a new roof on and new siding, so it's just kind of a mess over here. I try not to film this side of my house. 1.29. It was at 1.28. So 1.28 seconds versus 1.29 seconds. Let's see what the difference is at the 30 foot. You got a comparison, we know the difference now. Let's see if we can get another 2.9. I rushed that one a bit. Hey, we're good though. We smashed it down and got a 1.29. Shouldn't do it for the audience, but I just always level up when I'm filming with you guys. It's crazy.
Here, Ryder. Random start.
Tell you what, I cannot wait to have a return berm down there. 3-0. I think it's time for a water break. We're already 10 gates in. Get hydrated. Let the legs rest for a second. Recovery is just as important as the work we put in, you know? First gate, I'm gonna expect to do a 3-0. And then I'm gonna come straight back up, have about 30, 60 seconds of rest, and I'm gonna knock out a 2-8. And you know what, I'm gonna set it up so you guys can see it too. We're zeroed out right there. Can you see that? And I know that last gate was a hair late too, so as long as I can go and like just kiss that gate a little bit, we got our 2-8. Willied a little bit that time. I didn't really keep my weight forward, like down and driving. Almost went up, which calls me to willy. If you're willing, you're not driving forward. 3-0 again. Didn't get the 2-8, but at least I know my mistake on why I didn't get the 2-8. You know what we did wrong on that last one? This time, we're always looking for perfection. You're never gonna have perfection at a gate start, and obviously that's it. You know, I've done thousands of gates. Like that was as simple as I drove my weight up a little bit, so I willied a little more. If I'm willing a little too much, I'm not driving that weight down and forward, right? So, especially with a gate that's flat, my front wheel pretty much drops on my second pedal because you come out and it's immediately flat, right? So it's really hard to carry your front wheel, and if you're carrying your front wheel too far on a section this flat, you're just simply not going out. And I've seen it in my times. The ones I stay a little more forward are always my faster times. The ones I wheelie, I'm a hair slower. And we saw the difference on what just a 0.01 would make.
Here, Ryder. Random start.
Yeah, 3-0 again. The form of that gate felt good. It just didn't feel quite as, you know, like just quite as quick. So it's 10 gates in. We've gone 3-0, 2-9, 2-8, 3-0, 2-9, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, which is really good for the average. That 2-7 might be a little bit of a reach, though. It's all right. We're already ahead of, well, I guess, on par from our best session. Whether I hit that 2-7 or not, everything's trending in the right direction, so I can't be disappointed in that. We'll get back to it after this commercial break. All right, let's get back to it. I needed some hype because I can't play this music while the camera's rolling because YouTube will cut it off. Time zeroed out. We got 5 gates to get it done. Gate 1 of 5. Technically number 11.
Here, Ryder. Random start.
3-0 for gate 11. 4 more. Tabletop unclip 1-footer. I puckered a little bit on that one. stuck in the 3.0s. That's 5 3.0s in a row, so I can't really complain. That's a pretty fast time. Very consistently. We don't need to peak till the final, so as long as number 15 is what we're looking for. I like it. Well, I didn't like it, but it was a 2.9. It might not have felt right, but obviously it was faster. So you can't always go with just how good or bad you feel, because that did not feel like a 2.9. But that's why we have timers, because the timers don't lie. That was 13 gates in. 2 more to get it done. Push, pull, stay forward. Sometimes you just gotta grunt to dig a little deeper. But did it work? Well, it's a 2.9 again. One more gate. Main event gate right here. Main event gate. We need to lay the fastest gate of the session right now for 15, because we gave ourselves that goal. I'm feeling myself get tired, a little fatigued, so we're not gonna go to 20. Last one of the day. I'm gonna let you guys see it before I do, so Tanner strong on this one, all right? Let's go.
Here, Ryder. Random start. Ready? Watch the gate.
Come on! No way that just happened. No way. This video has not been cut. You guys just saw this. Yes, that was the goal. A 1.27, my fastest recorded time to the 30 foot in the backyard. I can't believe we actually just got that. Oh, that's a wrap. Gate number 15. Put the pressure on yourself. Be in the mental space like you're on a race day. And you rise up. Oh, let's go. By the time you're watching this, we're racing. Let's go race. See you in Louisville.